Yeah, now we are. Okay, I've just been handed a little piece of information, right? Hold up. And that's real. For some of you out there who are not that intelligent, hopefully this is being broadcasted to you on a TV that has a brighter button. Turn it up and see if that helps your intelligence a little bit. If it doesn't, there's nothing we can do for it. Listen, I was just thinking about artificial intelligence. I mean, really, and when you really sit back and you do the math, the country has been running on artificial intelligence for a long, long, long time. Oh, a long time, I mean, you just think, well, it's just amazing. It was coming eventually. Well, most of the time, if you have something that's artificially flavored, like candy, or whatever and stuff, chocolate perhaps, artificially flavored chocolate is bullshit. Throw it out the fucking window and it'll give you heartburn and gas and everything else, and it's no good. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about artificial intelligence. That's right, I got PAPS. I got artificial intelligence too. But listen, at the same time, we're not here talking about that. It came to my attention that through artificial intelligence and the big step in technology that it is, I mean, here we are using intelligence as artificial. It's not real, right? Well, it came to my attention, and I just started thinking. I said, well, listen, we really don't want to run on the intelligence that actually, put Osama bin Laden's body over the board and stuff so his family wouldn't suffer no embarrassment. That was artificial intelligence. Okay, well, listen. Okay, but if you are going to offer us artificial intelligence in a way as like, a means of like technology or we can advance, we can maybe get more chicks, get laid or something, that's cool. Which is what I'm actually offering. Well, I mean, well, I'm not offering, but I'm looking at right now. Okay, let's just say artificial intelligence. It's artificial. It's not real, honey. That's not real intelligence. Right? Okay, let's just say that we're running on artificial intelligence now. Right? Okay. All right. Whatever. Listen. So you're gonna sit back and you're gonna tell me that with all the technology and the money that has been spent to move one step ahead in the game, right? That's right. Life is a game. Lots of people say it. Oh, life is a game. Well, learn how to play it. Listen. First of all, let's just say you make an advance on the board of life, right? Not the little board game by Milton Bradley. We're talking about real life, right? The little bridge in the middle. A baby's on the way. Fuck that. So listen, at the same time, since we're here and stuff, and there's been like a lot of technology, that's been offered to us now and stuff through artificial intelligence. This is intelligence that is artificial. Be careful. We're not sure how to handle it. Like I said, if we get rid of cigarettes because of secondhand smoke, we might as well get rid of barbecue grills too. Right? This is intelligence that is artificial. Only and Smokey Bear, that's right, the lovable figure that he is. Only you can prevent forest fires and all that, right? Get rid of him because if there's a forest fire that's secondhand smoke and we don't want it, we don't need it, we don't care. So listen, but this is what I'm thinking about right now. That a lot of people and stuff are going to sit back and they'll tell you like, oh, okay, this is this and this is this and, like whatever. So let's just say, with all the technology that has come, I know that Katy Perry went into space a couple of weeks ago. I kind of envy her. You're like, wow. And she's probably thinking this stuff, right? In her mind, I guarantee she's thinking of like how to broadcast one of her songs from outer space to let everybody know that I'm in outer space. Firework coming down from the heavens. And we're like, Jesus Christ. Right? This is what she's thinking about and stuff, right? Right? Okay, whatever. Listen, that's cool, right? But since we're leading artificial intelligence, and it's a technology that is supposed to uplift us, move us forward, past the American Top 40. America's Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and we're killing the hits. moving up 3 notches and all that. We're supposed to go past all that, right? We're supposed to go past this because now we have artificial intelligence. We don't even need KZ. We don't need KZ. KZ can stay where he's at. Besides, look, if I was made from the dirt of this world, why would I hang out in outer space forever? Listen. So at the same time and stuff, right? We're talking about the technological differences that have been offered to us from, artificial intelligence. The technology that exists now, gentlemen, you know what I can do with this microchip. You're like, what? Dude, what is it, dude? I can make myself look like a cat and a picture that I post to a friend. You're like, I guess that's cool, dude. If you want to like send your pictures and stuff to people and stuff looking like pets and stuff, that's all right. A man's gonna do what a man's gonna do. So let's look at it this way. Okay, this is the technology that is advanced too. Although artificial intelligence has, actually been, known, in my eyes to do like some things that are like, I'm telling you heard it before, you're fucking lying. Listen, artificial intelligence has been known in my eyes to, now I know, that, fuck Rick. Like most people and stuff, they want to go to go to the store and they buy some color and dye or whatever. Especially my mother, she used to get like the McCall patterns and shit and just hook up her dress. I'm going to the discotheque next week, right? So in a week's time, she's got to make her dress. Of course, I'm doomed to like go shopping with her and stuff while she picks out the fabric. You're like, Jesus Christ, let's go someplace else. Right? But this is good. This is good right here. Look, it's just fabric. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. We've gone way, way past that because now, through artificial intelligence, I don't know how they did it. If somebody has information, let me know. You can make a gun online, a three-dimensional gun or whatever and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter what it happens and stuff, right? I know that if you put one of those things that you made online against a real nigga in the street that's got like a 9mm Glock, you're not going to be able to do much anything. What, a magical flip? Look, first of all, and stuff, right? So you sit back and you tell yourself all this stuff. You're like, Lord, the technology has brought us this far. Now we can make ourselves look like pets, gentlemen, online. If we send a picture to our girlfriends, we can put ears, a little whiskers. Only bitches do that shit. I'm busy at work and shit, and I get a picture of a mouse. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this? It's a picture. It's a picture with me with whiskers and big ears. I'm like, so? What are you doing? Send that shit to Junior or something. He'd get more enjoyment out of it than I would. Oh, a little wooded animal. Or something like that. But what I'm saying though is like this. So if you're sitting back, you're saying that with the technological advances that we have made as a society, that's right, we're a society. There's a guy that cooks bread for us, the baker, or donuts. I'm not yelling about donuts, believe me. I'm aware of the fact that in the 70s, everybody used Manteca. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, anybody who was selling burgers, then, whatever. You venture down to SoCal, Del Taco. Right? All these guys used to use lard. Right? That part. Right? But then, the World Health Organization, the World Health Organization decided, they said, you know what? Well, cooking with lard is just too dangerous. It blocks your arteries. Now all of a sudden we know what our arteries are doing wrong. Okay, that's cool. Okay, it was. Okay, you prevented my heart attack. I walk away happy. But at the same time, you're sitting back and you're telling me that with this technological advance that we have now, what about with the technological advance can artificial intelligence be implanted into those who work at fast food restaurants and allow them to give you a burger a little bit faster? I mean, it's artificial. What would you think? If I go to a hotel, will artificial intelligence help me get past this bitch at the front desk? Excuse me. Yeah, I like the Book of Room. Who for it? Mac Bowling. You say that again, bitch? Well, artificial intelligence help me get past that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's intelligence. Hey, you're counting it as intelligence. I'm not. You said it was intelligence, and I balked at the first word. I said, okay, it's artificial though, dude. It's like going out to get your favorite thing, and then all of a sudden you're like sitting back, and you're just like, oh, it's intelligence, dude. What is it? It's intelligence, but it's artificial. Automatically, I'm skeptical, dude. I'm like, Jesus Christ. If it's artificial intelligence, like you see that guy up there, what if he pulls a gun? I want to rely on some intelligence that's real. Like I bat him on the side, you hit him on the neck. Of course, it was a plan. There's only two ways you can leave the planet: on purpose or on accident. So at the same time, you're sitting there and you're telling yourself all these things that artificial intelligence has done for moi. All I can think about, dude, is like I just sit back and I just think, dude. I'm like, I remember, dude, like there was a time, dude, where it's like all of our intelligence, it wasn't artificial. I was happy with the stuff we were getting on television. Billy Clyde Tuggle is my friend. I was happy with it. I was happy with it. Greg and Jenny, she was hot, dude. Like whatever. So this is the intelligence that's coming through on the airwaves and stuff that people are buying these days. That's right. You gotta buy airwaves. You can't just get a radio station broadcast. You would think you would say, hey, well, I want some airwaves too. So can artificial intelligence get us past these things? Right? Remember, we're still young. If we're 25 years into the next 1,000, right? This is still a baby millennium. If it was a picture of the millennium as we speak, he would be in his adolescence, right? So it's still not a lot of time has elapsed. So the artificial intelligence that you're touting us and saying that, oh, okay, this is AI. We'll call it something new now, AI. I like using abbreviations. Guys come walking up for me. I'm walking up there. I'm like, what abbreviation you work for? DEA, CIA, FBI, ATF. Well, that's good. The one that I work for is called FTW. Listen, that's nothing though. So at the same time, people come up to you and stuff and they ask you all these things and stuff, right? As though you have intelligence. But now look at yourself. Look at yourself. You're at a subway station. You're depending on artificial intelligence right now. What if it led you wrong? What if it said jump on the number 48? You get on the number 48, you end up 3 blocks past your fucking house. It was you. Well, yeah, you depended on it. It was artificial. You knew it was intelligence. It was being broadcast on YouTube or something, right? No. Okay, don't get me wrong. Then follow me. Listen. So now, wait, hold up. I drink Paps, and hopefully one day they pay me for it. But look, at the same time, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, right? Yeah, you made my commercial about Paps, dude. I'll be sitting in front of the trailer, just chilling and stuff. People come walking up. Oh, people walking by and marveling. Look, he's drinking Paps. That's right, bitch. Keep stepping. Split. Now me do calisthenics, kick rocks. So at the same time and stuff, right? You're sitting back and stuff, right? That would be my commercial for Pabst beer. But we're gonna move past that because there's other things on the matter. Let's just say, can artificial intelligence supposedly buy you a new home? We're gonna use this new intelligence. It's artificial. Already I'm in the back. I'm like skeptical. Like, damn. I know she's been running artificial intelligence for some time now, and I haven't told her, but now she wants me to use it too. Right? It's really nothing. It is really nothing. Okay, so now she's got to use artificial intelligence. We gonna find out anyway, nigga, if you really think about it. A nigga at work trying, we showing off pictures. I always take pictures. You were showing off pictures. So splash. I got your bitch here. I got your bitch here. She wants the doctor to take a picture. Look at so anyway and stuff, right? You know, so you're at work, you're showing off pictures. Yeah, yeah, you ain't even seen this shit, nigga. Watch, yeah, look at this one. Then bam, here he comes. Yeah, this is my wife right here. She got a picture of whiskers and fucking. I be like, where you stay at? Really? I'm like, I'm gonna broadcast my pictures of all that's balloon, nigga, for you. You know, your little picture of your wife dressed up in a mouse ears and fucking whiskers. You know, yeah. I'm gonna let you know right now, Mister. I hate Mises and pieces. So at the same time, you're sitting there and stuff, right? You're sitting there. Can artificial intelligence carry you through something like that? Can it? I mean, really. Yeah, the bitch probably sitting at home right now making peaches, canning peaches. You'll see her in church on Sunday. She's gonna come up with a can with a jar for you for sure. Oh, these are some not best peaches. I can them, and really, it's like, you didn't think that, with all the things that you had going on, there was the bills and everything. She over here like canning peaches. It's really nothing. This is some of my homemade salsa. You're like, oh yeah, that's cool, Mrs. Baumtree. So you take a can of like her little, canned stuff, but we're still getting away from the. Well, actually, we're on point now. It's artificial intelligence for a guy to say, okay, well, or is it not? Well, let's think about it. Okay, you need some help twisting the jars on. Okay, that's not artificial intelligence, that's help, right? So you're sitting back and you're like thinking to yourself. You're thinking to yourself, because she's gonna be thinking to herself. That's help. Oh yeah, I could use some help twisting on the jar. So now you got yourself a little side job through artificial intelligence, right? All you had to do was send her a picture, and to make her really like you, and know that you're not a piece of shit, which you are. You're gonna send her a picture with a little mouse ears and some whiskers, thanks to artificial intelligence. Oh, he's such a nice guy. You're in like Flint, right? Bam, bam, bam. Look it. All I'm saying is this. Yeah, right. Look, yeah, yeah. Look it. All I say is this: if artificial intelligence does the things that it says it's gonna do, we know it's not. We know it's artificial. It's intelligence. Like most of our presidents, it's intelligence, but it's artificial. A lot of our politicians, that's real, that's smart, but it's artificial. It's artificial, doesn't make much sense if you laid it before me if I was the president, but, hey, excuse me. No, it's really nothing. Have you ever seen a laboratory? Listen, so at the same time and stuff, right? People, I'm just here to let you know that I don't know if you caught the last one, about reality TV. Again, I'm sorry to say that, reality or artificial intelligence is, I suppose it's intelligence is some, right? If you really want to find out about this earthquake that happened in Tunisia like 2 minutes ago, that's cool, it's loaded up. But, when you really start thinking about it, I think that is a conspiracy ran by TV Guide. That's right. We're allowed to have our own thoughts. What happened to TV Guide? Where's TV Guide? Okay, I think that artificial intelligence was being used while they were making the original TV Guide. What do you got to say about that, mister? Right? Okay, how you just going to tell me it's going to come on at 11 o'clock? And it does. Hey, look, they're going to show you that one little commercial. Then bam, 11 o'clock. You look at the clock, it's like right at 11. Oh, my favorite detective. Right? Okay, so I'm aware of the fact that artificial intelligence has been used for some time. But like I said, I want to believe it. I'm not sure, dude. I want to believe it, dude, and I want to believe that it's intelligence, because it is, dude. It's intelligence, dude, to be able to pull up like all my favorite artists' albums and stuff, dude, like in 30 seconds and stuff, dude. That's hella tight. But at the same time, when you sit back and you're thinking about it, you're like, what is it? I mean, really. I mean, I'm just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I think that most people should be allowed to, especially. And, like I said, if any of you are interested actually in helping to ban gas grill or barbecue grills because of secondhand smoke, that's right. It's really up to you to, find me and say, oh, okay, hey, let's get together. We'll form us a petition. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because believe me, as show as shit is brown. There are people in this big world of ours. That's right. I live here too. Right? We sit back and we say to ourselves, we're like, oh, you know, this is artificial intelligence, honey. You should be careful. It's artificial. It's artificial. Right? Kind of like the little vitamins and stuff that you use and stuff. They work. If they work, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. But it's artificial. It's not really, and she might be unhappy. She's like, you're giving me an artificial one. So, in all actuality and stuff, right? Listen, at the same time, this is what I was thinking about. Of course. Yeah, you know. I don't know. I'm just not sure if I want to accept artificial intelligence either, dude. But it's going to take some work. Maybe I'll have to do something special for me, like, put up a recipe or something. I'd be like, yeah, that's real, dude, because how would he know that it's 3 quarts of oil? Something like that and stuff, dude, before, I start believing it, dude, because like I say, man, it's like, I want to believe it, dude, but I remember, dude, there was a time in this country where, our intelligence was served up to us and stuff real. That brings me to real estate, which makes me believe there's people out there who have phony estate, and that sucks. It's the real estate that you want. If somebody comes up to you, I have real estate, you should jump on it. Because there's other people somewhere in this world, somewhere in this world, somebody is coming up on luck real estate. I'm sorry, are you the lady who fell down on a slipper in the store? Okay, yeah, okay, this way, ma'am. Somebody is having a bit of good luck because of the fact, but it's not, let's not blame it all on artificial intelligence. Let's blame it on, I think that artificial intelligence should just be called Snapchat. Since you're allowed, most people are using it to like color their pictures and make themselves into little furry animals. That's cool. If that's what you want to use our AI for, that's AI. Let's be PC, right? Let's be PC. I think that I would go back to my house and I would think, man, I would have to consider it. I'd have to put long thought into it and be like, well, if it's intelligence, I guess we can use it. It's artificial, so I have to use it, sparingly, like salt, like whatever and stuff, right? Even like, because a lot of that stuff has got, it says it leads to cancer. So, I think that artificial intelligence should use be sparingly, like sea salt, and whenever you go online to look for something, you should be prepared to run into some of your friends who are already using artificial intelligence. Same way you've been doing for a long, long time. Same way too, the people have artificial intelligence, and they're not equal to I. But at the same time, I think that's what I would say about AI. And also, Kane, bitch. Get out of here.